Welcome back, everyone, to the Finding Your Freedom podcast, where we talk all things eating disorders. Now, if you come across my social media or my website or any other episodes of my podcast, then of course you'll know that I am an eating disorder coach. But of course, just like everyone else who has a job, I'm not just that. So today I just wanted to share with you some of the things about who I am and what I like, because anyone who works with me has to trust me, has to feel safe to open up to me, and has to like to spend some time with me. And I think that's easy when you know a little bit more about a person. So let's start at the beginning. I'm one of 3 children. My brother sadly passed away when I was only 7, which left my sister and I. And we were really nothing like each other growing up or as teenagers. And we had very different interests and very different lives. And we still do. We still have differences. We're not the same people. We have quite different personalities, but we have a shared bond, which is family. And that to me is the most important thing. So yes, we argue, but find me sisters that don't. But we also laugh and we spend time together and we do things that we enjoy and we bond over family. My mum passed away 11 years ago, which was absolutely heartbreaking, and anyone who's lost a parent will know that and will know how that feels. But my dad, luckily, is still with us at 85, nearly 86, and well, to me, is just an absolute legend. He is far from perfect, like everyone else, but he just makes me laugh so much. He never judges me, and I can probably literally tell him anything. And I just like the way that he is authentically himself. He doesn't censor himself in any way. He says what he feels and he does what he wants. In a world where very few people, I think, are comfortable being that authentically themselves. And even at the age of 85, he would still do absolutely anything to protect me and my sister. So he still very much plays the dad role, and don't tell him, but he still is really my hero. So what else? Alongside my coaching role, I'm a lawyer, which is a job I've done for the last 23 years, which can be very stressful, but is also very interesting. And I've met people from every walk of life, with all kinds of histories, with all kinds of stories, and all kinds of problems. And it can be a real eye-opener into the things that go on outside the little world that we tend to live in our own little lives. And of course, between my 2 roles, there's an overlap. Because people come to me usually at a really low point in their life when they feel stuck or helpless. They feel scared. And my job, both my jobs, are basically to do anything in my power to change that. And so yeah, there is an overlap, quite similar in that both are about people and both are about me wanting to help people. What else about me? I'm honest and I'm not afraid to tell a harsh truth, because I don't think anybody benefits from being told things that are not true, that are not possible, and that don't help them. My clients don't pay me to mislead them or to make promises that I can't keep. However, I also believe that no matter how difficult the truth is to hear, you can deliver a message with kindness and compassion, and you could support somebody even through times that are difficult. And what you are telling them might be hard for them to hear, or might make them have to do some difficult things or some difficult choices. And so, yes, I won't be afraid of delivering the message, but I will definitely deliver that message with all the kindness and compassion that I can. I'm fiercely loyal. I wear my heart on my sleeve, and I am a real open book, which generally causes some eye rolls around those around me who know me best. And I sometimes think I'm funny when no one else really agrees. I hate confrontation in my personal life. I just find it so draining. I just find it's not worth my energy. I spend my day as a lawyer quite often being quite confrontational in a professional way. But in my personal life, it's just not who I am. So the way I deal with that is when people want a confrontation, because some people actively seem to seek them out, or when people annoy me, or when people do things I think are wrong, I've learned the only way I can deal with that without confrontation is just to let people be who they are. And I decide the only thing I can control around those people is me, my feelings, my reactions, and my decisions. So I will at this point highly recommend a book called Let Them by Mel Robbins. Anyone who hasn't read it, if you have difficulty with boundaries around other people, then I suggest you read that, or I'm sure you can probably listen to it on an audiobook. I think I've already said I love to talk, but I also love to listen. I am fascinated by other people's lives. I think it's so easy to get caught up in the bubble of our own world. And there are so many wonderful people with fascinating lives, and we really should be hearing so many more stories and opening up our mind to what's going on outside of our own lives. Because I don't believe I know everything, in fact, far from it. So I love to learn new things, hear things from different people I haven't heard before, and hear different opinions. Even if I don't agree with them, I still love to hear them. And, you know, this is something I've really kind of tried to do over the last couple of years, is open up my mind to other things, to other people's lives, to other people's points of view. Because I think we have to keep evolving. I think we have to be interested in what's going on in the world. Otherwise, I think as you get older, your world just gets smaller. And I don't want to have a small world. I want my mind to be open, and I want my world just to get bigger and bigger. I think we're here to learn, and we're here to experience everything life has to offer. And I really believe that's something we should all try to do in our own way. I've had some great experiences in my life, but I still firmly believe that the best days of my life are ahead of me and not behind me. I think we tend to believe that the best days are something that only happen to young people. So things like our first love, our first job, a wedding day, a child, and of course they are all amazing days, but achievement and happiness is definitely not just reserved for the young. I also believe in second chances. I believe that most people are good, but good people can make mistakes. And in fact, my best friend in the world was someone I took an instant dislike to when we first met, because we both fancied the same boy. It's all very teenage drama. And we initially spent a lot of time trying to one-up each other for his attention, until we realised he really wasn't worth it, and we were much better as friends than enemies. And 35 years later, she is the best friend I've ever had, and is the best second chance I've ever given. Okay, so let's finish off lightening it up a little bit. So I asked AI to create some getting to know me questions, and let's see what AI wants to know and what I can share with you guys. So question 1, if I could instantly master any skill, what would it be? I think I'd really like to have a natural talent, a natural creative talent. So to be good at music, be good at art, be good at singing, be good at dancing, because I'm pretty bad at all of those. So yes, if I could master any skill, it would be to be more creative. Okay, second question. What is your go-to comfort TV show? Well, for me, it's a no-brainer, because I am a northern girl living in London. So it's got to be a northern soap. If I'm feeling a little bit down, or a little bit homesick, or a little bit out of place, then I am going to watch Coronation Street or Emmerdale on catch-up, and I am going to feel better. Weirdly, watching those really helped me when I moved to London, when I felt very out of place initially and life seemed a little bit strange. So I kind of needed that just to take me back to a little place of comfort. Okay, next question. Do I prefer mornings or evenings? Well, I think I like sleep too much to really love mornings or evenings. I really like lying in, and I really like an early night, because sleep for me is super important, and I think it just makes everything better. So I'm going to say I prefer afternoons. What was my favourite subject in school? History. I had a great history teacher, and I was just fascinated learning about the same world that I lived in that was so different to my experience of it. Next question. If I had to eat one meal every day for the rest of my life, what would that be? Oh God, this is so hard. And I really don't know how anyone chooses this. And I'm glad I don't actually have to choose it so that I can only eat one meal a day for the rest of my life. But I'm going to choose one thing that if I could never eat again would make me really sad. And this is just a comfort food, just reminds me of being a child. And it's very basic. And it's hot toast with butter. If someone told me I could never eat that again, that would make me really sad. Okay, next question. Have I ever met anyone famous? And the answer to that is yes. I've actually met some very famous people in my day job. And of course I can't name anyone. And some of them are really lovely. And some of them shattered all my illusions. And one that really, even though I didn't meet this person, but I had a weird experience where I found myself, when I was back in Manchester, parked at traffic lights, and I was parked facing a main road waiting to turn right onto it, and on the main road a car came past quite slowly, and I just happened to look at who was in the car, and it was the Queen, and she was very politely doing her little Queen wave, and I was front of the traffic, and so I had a little wave from the Queen, which was really sweet. Okay, what's one small thing that always makes my day better? And the answer to that, my dog, 100%, it's always going to be that answer. When I'm not with him, when I don't have him, I just feel sad without him. Even though all he does all day is eat and sleep and look at me and want to cuddle me, and he doesn't do anything practical or anything helpful. But he makes my day 100% better all the time. Okay, if I was an animal, which would I be and why? Same answer. I would be my dog if I was an animal, because every day his little world is filled with everything he loves. Walking, eating, cuddling and sleeping. And I could pretty much do that for a lifetime. Next question, what is the weirdest food combination you secretly love? Oh, okay. I think a little bit of a strange one, but I think I could probably put really thick gravy on practically anything. I sometimes have it on pizza. I've been known to even drizzle it over a salad with mayonnaise on top. Yes, I know that's disgusting, but the point of this is to be truthful. We all have our thing, don't we? Those little food habits that you don't talk about unless AI asks you the question on a podcast. Okay, so enough about me. Please do let me know if any of you have any questions more about me, about who I am, about anything eating disorder related. Next week is going to be my first guest who I'm very excited to be speaking to, and it could only be my wonderful eating disorder coach, Victoria Kleinsman, because she was with me where all this began. And I hope you all have a great day, and please do reach out for any support.